When I first met Shane, it wasn't good to see a bloke so down, so lethargic, so had just given up.
Suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts. Hi, my name's Shane. I'm a board member / advocate for a not-for-profit organisation called Fishability Queensland. I was a long-term recreational drug user, had been for a good part of, I'd say, 10 plus years. I just started to get into a lot of debt, because you start maxing out credit cards, because you're doing cash advances to try and get the drugs. Health-wise, I think at my lowest point, I weighed about 52 kilos. Being 6'6" and weighing 52 kilos, I sort of spent a fair while in hospital because I was underweight. Got threatened for tube feeding and stuff like that. The main struggle I had since quitting was probably just that social isolation. Yeah, no, most people, all women see the wheelchair first, and it's it's that barrier straight up, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, it's that barrier straight up that and I guess that's another thing that a lot of disabled people or physical ailments or something like that, they sort of have that to sort of struggle with as well, is that initial barrier that people sort of need to overcome, and then get to know the person sort of sitting in the chair, or the person missing the leg, or the person with that physical ailment. It's definitely a challenge.
Disability name Shane, not Shane. It's got a disability.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. They see the chair before they see the person or get to know the person, and that's I've found that to be a challenge. Yeah, my whole life in being in the chair. I guess I was at a really low point. Suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts. Had really only been laying in bed all day, every day. When I quit those drugs cold turkey, my whole social circle sort of just disappeared. I just became very isolated at home. None of my friends and stuff sort of stuck around. Didn't really want to associate in that lifestyle anymore. There was a couple there that were like brothers. That was really hard, and something I still struggle to this day with.
When I first met him, he was very tired all the time. He still has bouts of being tired, but he was just, you could see bags under his eyes. He was dark rims under his eyes. He was circles there. He was not really engaging very well with anyone. He would answer your questions, but he wouldn't wouldn't respond to you as a person. That initial start was it wasn't good to see a bloke so down, so lethargic, so had just given up. It was just it wasn't a good feel.
I sourced Neil through a organisation that provides support workers from an NDIS plan. And that was in February this year. And since then it's more like hanging out with a mate rather than a support worker. We just play Xbox, sit at home, play Xbox, go fishing, go to shops, go to movies, just heaps of different stuff. But
we'd go out to Fishability, and it was Shane was the bloke who actually found it and told me about it, to be honest. I've noticed since Fishability's come on the scene, the amount of excitement that comes into him now, so that now things used to be insurmountable. He'd have so many negative thoughts all the time. It was just like I don't want to bother, don't worry about it, I'll just do it tomorrow, or couldn't be bothered doing it today. It's down to now, I've got to do this now because this time next week I'm going to be fishing with Fishability. It's a total paradigm shift for him to go from where he was to where he is now. So it's just been great to watch. It's a great journey. I'm glad I've been with him on it.
Fishability Queensland is a not-for-profit incorporation that we came together to support people in the community that are at risk of social isolation. What we do is we fish together. Shane has been a wonderful person that I'm developing a lovely friendship with and a professional friendship with. The first time we went out in the boat together was disastrous because we got hit by a massive storm while we were out there. I got drenched. Everyone laughed at me because I had to pull the anchor in and look like a drowned rat. But we got back to safety and it was an adventure for everybody. And I thought I'll never see him again because that was really uncomfortable and freezing cold. We all got drenched. And he came back and then he came back again and then he came back again. And it wasn't long before I identified that Shane was very articulate, very, very intellectual and very capable man, but also had a very common theme, loved fishing.
It's lovely, really lovely. I think it's great and I hope that we get to go to some more. I've never held a fishing line in my hand, I don't think, since I was a kid. That was an experience. And also just the company. The company's lovely, yeah.
If it wasn't for Fishability Queensland, I'd probably be still on the street. I wouldn't be selling these terrific t-shirts. I was homeless for 4 years.
Yeah, and how long have you been in your own, sustained your own tenancy now?
Yeah, for 3 3/4 years. Also, Fishability isn't just a group, it's a family. And I mean, it's a real good family.
It's wonderful how emotional Cookie gets because it's a testament to how hard he's worked to sustain his tenancy. And it's a testament of how willing Cookie has been hard to work to transition into housing and stability and having a roof over his head and a sense of purpose. Yeah.
I don't think I'm wonderful or some kind of martyr, but I think I am MAD mad because who would do this? There's been days where I've got $14 in my bank account.
I think it's absolutely incredible the amount of time that she's spent and she's taken it up from nothing. She's got over 150, 160 participants now, participating quite regularly. It's cost her an awful lot of money. She used all her money from her, she got retrenched or made redundant because of the NDIS. The money was taken from what she was doing and given to the NDIS, and she and about 30 or 40 other people lost their jobs. From then she had about $30,000 in savings, and for the last 12 months she's worked without any wages, setting this up. She set up a charity in 9 months, which it's well known that it takes at least 12 to 18 months to try and set up a charity. She did that in less than 9 months. I'm very, very proud of her, obviously.
Get off our fish! Hooray! Don't forget my phone!
There you go.
Oh, you got it! We're going to get a photo!
Yeah, buzz off, bird.
You can hang on to your line, hold the photo.
Did you see the shag with it?
I had to grab the line.
Dad, get out of the way! Beautiful!
Wait on.
Beautiful! Fabulous!
Straight down And when you go up Bribie Island, oh, magic. And Emma's dad tells you all about Bribie Island and the history of it. And you're on a boat on the water. I love it. I do.
So Fishability Queensland have witnessed support from the community that's been overwhelming in the small time that we've existed. But what we really need is support from the government. They're the people that need to prioritise the ongoing problem that social isolation is having in communities, so much so that there's a suggestion of a minister for loneliness. Loneliness can impact on a person's life in so many ways, and it's as unhealthy for us as up to smoking 15 to 16 cigarettes a day.
I think if I hadn't have sort of reached out to Fishability Queensland, I'd probably still be laying in bed all day, every day, fighting the struggle, you know, probably still in a very dark headspace. Yeah, so like I said, you know, it's definitely helped me with my mental health a lot. It's definitely helped me with my social inclusion a lot. You know, just being out there, meeting new people. You know, Emma's an absolute superstar. What she does for Fishability Queensland, and the amount of time and the hours she puts in. You know, yeah, we've become, you know, the closest of friends just through it. You know, and I know that if I'm having a really dark day, I can give Emma a call, and she's always there to you know, listen, you know, give some advice, and sometimes that's all you need is just someone to listen. So having the whole Fishability Queensland crew there, yeah, it's really been invaluable. You know, because what sort of cost you put on someone's mental health and just health in general. And I'm a firm believer in the healing properties of water and being outdoors. And yeah, it's been invaluable to myself.
Even though I'm a determined individual that will die trying, I do have days where I'm not, you know, I think I'm going to go down the gurgler here financially. You know, I need an income. I need to be able to provide. I need to be able to sustain. So there's the financial struggle, but at the end of the day, if I don't give it every opportunity it deserves, I'll regret that more than anything. Everyone
needs something in their life, and I guess Fishability was something that I really needed in my life, and I'm really glad I found it.
What's happening here? We're a bit rusty, mate, that's what it is.
Yeah, I haven't played in like 2 weeks.
Should we get a special?
Don't record that.
I recorded.
Oh, good. Can you send it to me? I'm hearing you though, man.
Yeah. So that's a day in the life of Shane.